once again, I'm George Rhymes, and I just want to say to you, because it's the right thing to do. Now, all the criticism that I may receive, let me say this to you. You can call me all kind of names, but let me invite you to this. What about you criticizing me on the facts of what I present? In other words, condemn me and tell me that Valdosta, Lowndes County is not leading the state of Georgia in jail deaths. Will you do that? Can you disapprove me that Brooks and Lowndes County is the home of the Quitman 10+2 that was arrested for alleged voter fraud, and that it's been over 3 years and they still have not gone to court? Can you disapprove me when I say to you that 15 to 25 blacks were murdered in May of 1918 in Brooks County, that Mary Turner was lynched at Folsom Bridge outside of Hayhira, just west of Hayhira, and that the 8-month-old fetus was cut from her womb and the baby's head was crushed by a white member's boot? Now can you condemn me for that? You may not like me for saying it, but I didn't do it. I'm just relaying to you a part of history that is known around the world. Can you condemn me that Sidney Johnson was shot and killed in Valdosta after being killed, castrated, his body part was thrown across the street and drugged up and down South Patterson Street, then tied behind a pickup truck and dragged to the old campgrounds in Morgan? Don't blame me for that, my beautiful sisters and brothers. Don't label me for reporting what history have told us. Just come at me on facts. Disapprove me on the camera. And I'm a type of individual, I'll let you do it right here on YouTube. You and I can sit down and we can debate the issue. Now, not only that, gonna get better in a minute. Earl Evans was a black police officer in Brooks County that was going with a white girl. He was shot twice, put in the police car, and burned to a crisp. What about James Demps? James Demps, right back in Washington Funeral Home, was shot to death in the 70s. I was stationed at Moody Air Force Base. Now, is that true or is that a lie? Now, if you can refute what I'm saying, then I would love for you to bring that to the table and let's weigh it. I haven't finished yet. There was not a picture of the president on the main floor of the wing headquarters building at Moody Air Force Base. This was brought to us by service members to the local NAACP, and I went out to investigate on behalf of the organization at that time. Now, if you want to call me names for these things, it's okay. Now, wait a minute, I'll finish it. In 17 July 2012, there was a public meeting that dealt with the irregularities in the Brooks County Board of Elections office, wherein Ken Collins said that he was going to resign. Nancy Dennett, one of the Quitman 10, said the meeting had not been called to order. The agenda was not approved. The minute of the previous meeting had not been voted on and approved. There were no recording secretary. The meeting had not been advertised. Yet when complaints were made to the Georgia Secretary of State, Brian P. Kemp, and Brian P. Kemp sent his investigator down from Macon, Georgia, Glenn, and after he came down and met with people and listened to the people, took complaints and took DVDs about what was going on in Brooks County. From July to now, August the 16th, nothing has been reported back to the people in Brooks County from the Georgia Secretary of State. You don't have to call me all these names that you try to call and belie me and belittle me. Deal with me on, disapprove me on facts. That's what I give you. And I have said to you over and over again, everything that I put on this YouTube channel, if you can disapprove it, then do so. On 5 May 2005, 15 outstanding citizens were arrested and taken to the Lowndes County Jail for exercising their right to stand before their elected officials at Valdosta City Council. Now, if I'm wrong, disapprove me and call me a liar by your truth. But if you cannot, and I know you cannot, then accept me for who I am, a good patriot, and possibly a good Muslim, or a good Jew, or a good Hindu, or a good other. But don't call me the name that you try to associate with my name. Haven't finished yet. When I tell you that on May the 25th, 2013, that the Lowndes County Sheriff Department, under orders from Wes Taylor, I heard on the radio, that I had been restricted from all properties of Lowndes County school system without being notified in writing or otherwise. Today marks the 93rd day that I have been on restriction. Now ask yourself a question. Can you disapprove me and call me a lie on that? No, you cannot. So since you cannot call me a lie, you'll call me all these other names that I do appreciate because I understand you, and my love for you makes me better understand your words because I know you. Yeah, I know why you strike out at me like that. It's nothing new for the righteous, not even for a righteous Muslim, a righteous Jew, or a righteous Hindu. You do what you do because you are not a real Hindu, because you are not a real Buddhist. We understand that, but I'm not going to talk about you because I love you too much. Let me keep giving you the facts. Do you not know that when a black African American was running for the chairman of the Lowndes County Board of Commissioners, that his life was threatened and a person was arrested? Let me repeat. A person was arrested and taken to the Lowndes County Jail. Yet, you don't know nothing about it because your newspaper, the Valdosta Daily Times, the television stations wouldn't report it. Valdosta Daily Times reported it when I brought to their attention, but they never mentioned that Reverend Floyd Rose was the victim of those threats. So now if you want to criticize me for giving you the truth, once again, go ahead, it's okay. Now, if I was stopped going to the high school graduation on May 25th for nothing more than exercising my rights as a retired military veteran with 21 years of putting my life on the line to defend this country from both foreign and domestic enemies. Well, could not that happen to you, your mama, your sister, your brother? Look, then when I went to the magistrate court, the superior court, the federal court, the sheriff's CID department, and the sheriff himself, they ran my name in the computers. Guess what they found? Nothing. So yet you gonna call me these names when I am an upright person. I don't have nothing in my present, nothing in my future that I know about, and nothing in my past that anybody can get on me outside of what you want to put on me. And do you not know that there is a God in the universe that has people like me that are going to continue to tell the truth and speak truth to power, and the wicked supposed to come out after people like us because they don't want you and they don't want your children and coming generations of children to know the truth. Why don't they want you to know the truth? Because they understand fully what Jesus said when he said in St. John 8:32. And what did he say? Here's what he said. And ye shall know the truth, and that the truth shall set you free. Now, anybody that strikes out at people people like me that bring you the truth that your South Georgia news media control, suppress, and abate. That means they don't want you free, because freedom only comes when truth comes. And when truth comes into the minds of those who seek truth, then all falsehood must vanish. And falsehood is forever a vanishing thing. But you cannot stop truth, or I may leave this planet. But according to the volume of sacred law, heavens and earth would pass away, but truth and the word of my Father would stand forever. I haven't finished yet. Look, let me say this. Do you not know that the Valdosta City School board member, Bill Love, called me, Reverend Rose, the president of the Southern Christian Leadership Council, Lee Touchton, an outstanding white European lady that I got the greatest respect for, Mark George, a professor at VSU, and a friend of mine, dear friend of mine, they call us, or he called us, words that I'm not even gonna mention here. But I refuted all of that. I disapproved it on YouTube. Then I disapproved it on the Republican radio station, 105.9 FM Black Crow Media with Chris Beckham, and disapproved what Mr. Bill Love said. The things that Mr. Bill Love called this gang of outstanding citizens, and I'm included, and used the word racist. Where did you get that from, Mr. Bill Love? I believe you got that from the living room of your own mind. Because surely Mark George is not a racist. He's a white brother that have been on the issues in the black community since the late 90s when I got him from Ramstein, Germany. You can't talk about Lee Touchton. Lee Touchton, in my opinion, back then for sure, is above reproach. She gave up a high-paying job, standing up for the poor, impoverished people at Valdosta State University on the living wage campaign, and she won that with the help of the NAACP and other black and white right and other people. So why do you keep doing this thing? You remind me, you who try to come after me, you remind me of another great Christian and another great patriot of yesterday. You ever heard of Governor Lester Maddox, who used axe handles on black folk? Yeah, you remind me of him. But I don't criticize even him, because God took Lester Maddox axe handles and turned them into toothpicks by what black folk went through. He took Bull Connor's dogs and turned them into little puppies. He took Governor Wallace's hate and turned it into love. Oh, come on, you gotta get right, you gotta get right, you gotta get right. And you gotta get up out of the dirt of calling all these names. Look, have you ever thought about why they call the 44th president all these ugly and dirty names? I just got the Quitman Free Press. Jack Harrell wrote in the Quitman Free Press, and he writes so repeatedly, all the negatives about the president and how our nation is falling apart. Now listen to Mr. Glenn Beck, most honorable Rush Limbaugh, the most honorable black female columnist Star Parker, the most honorable G.B.R, and others of that ilk. You know what they say about the president? They called him the Hitler. He hadn't put no Jews in no gas chambers. He haven't taken away white people's right to carry firearms or forbidden them to assemble in groups of more than 5. He didn't bring them into slavery in this nation. Barack Obama haven't taken your wife and children and took them out of their homes and put them on a plantation. He haven't labeled them no person in America 3/5 of a human being. Barack Obama haven't done that. Barack Obama did not strip Rush Limbaugh of his name, his God, his culture, his history, and the knowledge of who he was, and can't forbid him to speak his mother language, his mother tongue, as ever done to the black African American. So why do you want to call this 44th president all these ugly names? You remind me of Lester Maddox of yesterday, who used axe handles to keep our black folk. But because of our prayers and our love for you, that through our praying, God turned his axe handles into toothpicks. And then in the end, Lester Maddox became a friend and ally of the black community. Governor Wallace turned his hate into love and asked forgiveness from the blacks, and we gave it to them, him and them. Then there was others, even James Earl Ray, that they say killed or murdered Martin Luther King. Do you not know that he went to the King family? And do you not know that we had enough love to forgive him? We didn't strike out at him nor them like they are striking out at me and the president. We understand the Jesus that you dip in. You duplicate Jesus, you imitate Martin King, you placate the founding fathers of this great republic, and you play a game. But in Jesus' name, we the righteous stand up with the Jews and the Judaism. We stand up among the Muslims under Master Farad Muhammad, who was a white European man who wanted Elijah Muhammad to know the history of the black man. And so he was a white man that taught Elijah Muhammad, that taught W.D. Muhammad, that taught Louis Farrakhan, that taught the Nation of Islam about the history of his people and the greatness in the role that we are playing or to play on the stage of life. So look, don't hate me because I love Buddha. Don't hate me because I love Allah. Don't hate me because I love Jah. Don't hate me because I love El Shaddai. Don't hate me because I love Jehovah's Witnesses. Don't hate me and call me dirty names because of your own limitations of your own mind. You see, so when I studied my history, although you didn't want me to learn how to read, white people was killed and lynched for teaching a black man how to read a book. But don't look at that negatively, because blacks built the pyramids in Egypt. Oh, you don't have to agree with it. I'm asking you to do your own research like I've done mine. And then when you stand up and you tell the truth, then the enemies of God gonna come out after you too. Not because they dislike you, not because they hate you, but because they must do what is held in the Congress of their own hate. So now look, as I close this out, I want you to know this is why I will not strike out at you. You can put anything you want on this YouTube channel. I'm definitely gonna read it. I'm definitely gonna watch it. But in the end, I would rather have you to refute the truth. Disapprove me on the basis of truth. And if you call me or if you email me, why shucks, you and I could sit down as intelligent men and women from all races, from all religions of the world, from all personalities. Let's debate it. And I will make you another promise. I will give you 5 times the time that it would take me to respond to you. In other words, if you take 5 hours, just give me 1. And I believe I can master anything that you throw on me. Yes, and that is indeed a fact that I have proved in my Senate and House of Representatives within the dome of my own head. Nice talking to you. Once again, I want to close by saying to you, you want to come on, my brother? I have a Caucasian brother here, standing over here. I was walking by. He said, I appreciate what you're saying. I invited him to speak because I wanted him to speak. I want him to be seen, because there's nothing that Brother Ryan say in the dark that I would not say in the light. And I wouldn't say nothing in the light that I'm too afraid to say in the dark. So if you're a Muslim, Assalamu alaikum. If you're a Jew, Shalom. If you're a Christian, well, shucks, I just simply say, bye-bye, we're gone. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press, KYRC, which means Know Your Rights campaign. You indeed have a right to speak and to let your beliefs be published, and we here on the Ghetto Channel, we will give you the time you need to be here and to say, to God be the glory. Bye-bye, we gone.